Hey everyone, I'm Foul Play and I'm back here for another Modern League with Bogles. Just about to get into a deck tech, but just beforehand, if you're new to the channel and you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content. Hit that like button, comment, all that good stuff. So, deck here. Today, I did make a little bit of a change from what I was running last video. The creature base is the same, your normal 12 land base is the same. So, for your auras, I've brought in a one of Cartouche of Solidarity for the 4th Hyena Umbra. So I want to maintain my 12 instances of First Strike here, but I'm just diversifying ever so slightly against cards like Malmstrom Pulse. Also, the 1/1 Vigilance Warrior token that gets created is quite handy. Because it gives you a creature to sack to things like Liliana. When your opponent blasts zone, you've still got a creature left, things like that. Same goes for Engineered Explosives. So, my aura consistency for the deck are the 4 Ethereal Armor, the 4 Rancor, the 4 Daybreak Coronet. I've got 4 Leyline there as well, not an aura, but just get to through the 4 ofs while I can. So 3 ofs, 4 Griffspoon gives you that flying, that evasiveness, really strong. We got Hyena Umbra, which gives you First Strike and Totem Armor. Spider Umbra gives you Reach and Totem Armor. 2 Sentinel's Eyes, giving you that Vigilance with Escape from the Grave. That one of Cartouche we talked about before. And the sideboard is 4 Path to Exile, 4 Rest in Peace, 2 Seal of Primordium, 2 Force Figure, and 3 Gadok Tea. I've been having a lot of success with this list, or variations of this list. I think the last 4 leagues that I've played in, I've got 90% win rate. I think I had 2 4-1s and 2 5-0s, so yeah, 90% win rate. Pretty happy with where the deck is placed at the moment with what's going on. Alright, so it looks like we lost the die roll here. This hand is great. I'm gonna keep it. We've got our Bogle, we've got Leyline to protect it. And we got 2 auras to cast on turn 2, 2 land to deal with it, and old MVP Daybreak Coronet swing through for all that life gain, so we are versing Merfolk God here, and just put that overlay there. I'm going to keep this. Opponent has also kept 7. Let's get that Leyline out there. Protect all that good stuff that is going on. Alright, opponents skipped their draw step, which is making me think there's something like a Gristlebrand deck or a Dredge deck trying to discard to hand size in this next turn. My guess is it's a Gristlebrand deck. That, or they're just like a burn deck and can't beat Leyline, so they want to just see what we're playing and then they'll concede. Go to game 2, go to sideboarding. Yeah. Alright, so they're just conceding. Obviously, Leyline's going to be good here. My assumption is burn, so I'm going to take out a couple of... Or burn, I say burn, I mean Prowess. I'm going to take out 2 Core Spirit Dancers. Bring in 3 Path, I reckon. And then I might just take out a Spider Umbra as well and submit the list. Against Prowess decks, I normally take out all 4 Core Spirit Dancers, but it's not confirmed that this is Prowess. I'm only assuming that it is. So obviously we want our First Strike, and we kind of want flying because they do have those flying creatures, the flying Prowess thing. Actually, Spider Umbra is... Assuming this is Blue-Red Prowess, Spider Umbra is slightly better than Griffspoon here. Because if I'm blocking with a Sentinel's-Eyed creature, then we're just in a good spot. This is surprisingly tempting. We already know they did not like Leyline. We've got a 3/3 Vigilance Totem Armor creature if we draw a land in the top 2 cards of our library. I think it's good enough. I'm just going to hedge off the strength of Leyline here. Obviously, we could have a slow start and we could get punished for it, but I think given the fact they just scooped to Leyline game 1... Alright, Seal of Fire. Yep. Alright, so we miss a land drop, draw a Bogle, so that's not ideal. Just going to chill, look for that land drop, and then we'll be good. I wonder if this is the Chandra's Incinerator deck. Judging by that Seal of Fire, no Lurus. Oh great, we miss a land drop. This is very awkward. I'm going to start discarding hexproof creatures soon. At this stage, they might even just get to 6 mana before us and start hard casting Chandra's Incinerator. This is embarrassing. Well, mono red and... oh god. So, Sentinel's Eyes free discard here because we can escape it from the grave later on. Alright, there we go. We're online. Alright, so we're going to play out our dude. We're going to give it Totem Armor here. Now, this is important in case they brought in like an Anger of the Gods or something. And then we're just going to build our big creature and go off from there. So now they need like 2 Anger of the Gods to get us. I guess it wouldn't really matter because we just had another Bogle in hand, so we could have played Sentinel's Eyes. If it goes to the grave, recast it from the grave. Exiling creature land to do so. So, bit of a dirty victory here for us. Oh, Eidolon of the Great Revel. Seems like a pretty significant dyssynergy with Seal of Fire to me. But, oh well. Alright, so I'm just going to yield to this Eidolon. I'm going to get my 5 power creature here and start attacking. And, I mean, my opponent can block if they choose to. We go down to 13, but we've got double Leyline protection here. We've got a creature with Vigilance, First Strike, and Trample, so I can't see us losing this match hit from here, even though it was such a slow start, right? So yeah, at this stage, once you get a Vigilance creature, Eidolon is quite often more of a liability to them than what it is an asset. It's just Vigilance is so strong in this matchup once you've got Leyline on the board, like, and yeah. So what's he doing now? Anger of the Gods. Okay, so you trigger Totem Armor, and that doesn't do anything too impressive. They take 2 damage from that as well, don't forget. Alright, let's cast this Sentinel's Eyes in our graveyard. So I was right on the Anger of the Gods as well. And then Ethereal Armor will be GG's. Ethereal Armor was a great draw there. I mean, I'm not sure why he's conceding to Sentinel's Eyes. That is only putting my toughness to 3, and I'm not dead. Like, if they have a second Anger of the Gods, they get me. But they're definitely dead to the Ethereal Armor in hand. Which they didn't know about, but yeah. Just, I think it's a little bit of a rage concession, which is understandable given the way that the game went. Alright, so, match 2. And this time we are up against Zib, and we lost the die roll again. I might be tempted to keep a Totem Armored Core Spirit Dancer hand if I had 2 mana, but I don't have 2 mana, and there's just too much that can go wrong with that hand. This hand is equally as bad. Alright, keep. This is a good hand. We have to bottom 2 cards. I think I'm gonna bottom double mana. I don't want to be dead to just Thoughtseize. And being on the draw, I should have a good chance to hit my second land drop. Alright, Breeding Pool in tapped. Okay. Spider Umbra, okie dokie. Let's get out this Slippery Bogle. And then pass to our opponent. My immediate thought on Breeding Pool is like a Bant control deck. Flooded Strand is really confirming that theory. Yikes. Well, you're awful. Alright, let's play out a Spider Umbra here. If they want to spend a turn countering it, they can. If not, I mean, Reach is pretty nice and Totem Arm is pretty nice. We've left our two better auras in hand here. I'm guessing it's Bant control and they're making a choice between Remand or Growth Spiral. And like, if they want to remand this, whatever. They're remanding like 1 damage. It's not very good value for them. Alright. Let's get in for that juicy 1 point of damage. So usually what this deck will do is play an Uro on turn 3 and then just look to tempo from there. So they're holding up another Remand, an Archmage's Charm. Let's cast a Rancor, see what my opponent does. Yes, if I'm playing around Spell Pierce, I play out the planes first, but Ethereal Armor is the more important aura here. Alright, well, they're just letting all our auras resolve here, although, actually, they could have Supreme Verdict here, and we could be walking into it. They'd need to get 2 white sources, though, to cast it. This is our only Totem Armor, and that's the most likely way we lose this game at this point. Well, if they are a 3-color deck, okay, it looks like just 2-color, green-blue. Hardcast Force of Negation, okay. Why are they saving it for... They're not fetching a plains there, why are they saving it for the Spider Umbra over either Rancor or Ethereal Armor? That doesn't make very much sense to me. Ah, okay, Blast Zone. It's suddenly making a lot more sense to me. It's not too bad because we do get another go with a Core Spirit Dancer here. Alright. So we'll just attack for the 5 damage here. My opponent is welcome to pop the Blast Zone. Alright, so Blast Zone. Realistically, it's a 2-for-1 for my opponent. Fine by me, because now we get a Core Spirit Dancer. And we will be going in on Core Spirit Dancer, getting that immediate draw here. Man, main deck Blast Zone, absolute scourge. Oh, I like the Ethereal Armor draw, though. Alright, so if Core Spirit Dancer sticks on the board, we're in a really good spot, and we can just beat our opponent. I think we're just going to gamble on Core Spirit Dancer. Don't know what would incentivize me to do otherwise. A Prairie Stream now. Fact or fiction? Well, Path is just the... Oh, no. Path is just as good as Cryptic Command. Both the cards do the same thing. Yikes. This is a difficult decision. Because they've got Wilderness Reclamation on the board. They have access to 1 white mana, so they can't Path and Dovin's Veto in the same turn. If we give them the Cryptic Command, they can bounce Core Spirit Dancer, or they can potentially counter the Glade Cover Scout, which wouldn't be very good. And would be giving me Mystic Sanctuary. What if we put Mystic Sanctuary over here? Alright, let's give them this split based entirely off the fact that Prairie Stream is in hand. So we put Cryptic, Fact or Fiction in the graveyard. So he's got Path and Dovin's Veto here. So hopefully they let us draw here. Okay, looks like they're letting us go to our draw step. Oh, I like to see that. That is really nice. Alright, so we'll get a Plains here. Looks like a counterspell. Growth Spiral? Okay, Growth Spiral is fine. What the hell does this do? Create a warrior token and... Oh, okay, great. So he actually was able to cast Dovin's Veto because he put a Plains into play. Alright, that's a little bit frustrating. Yeah, this game's not looking great. They've still got 4 cards in hand, and they've got Wilderness Reclamation online. The only benefit at the moment is they don't have a Planeswalker that draws them cards every turn. But they do have Mystic Sanctuary, which can get back all their good stuff from their graveyard, which is very scary. Yeah, we need to draw some gas here. We can go Core Spirit Dancer into like casting a lot of auras. But yeah, our opponent got us really good without Blast Zone. That was well played by them. Alright, so it looks like Mystic Sanctuary is coming down and targeting a Fact or Fiction. I'm sure he'll choose to put it on top. So you got another Fact or Sphinx's Rev? Shark Typhoon. What's he doing? Okay. Alright, so they're just passing to us. They've got access to Fact or Fiction, which I guess... They're just making a token here? If we get First Strike down, these tokens don't do anything. Alright, cast our Core Spirit Dancer. They've got Fact or Fiction in hand that we know of. Yeah, might as well go in on the Scout. So this is another path. Okay. So our opponent doing it that way just thinned our library for us, which is nice. That would be about right, wouldn't it? A third Rancor. Alright. So, pass to our opponent. Yep. We've got a lot of white auras left in the deck, and we had to draw another green one. That's really unfortunate. Really, really unfortunate. Because we've got, what, 2 or 3 ethereal armor, and then 4 other white 1-mana auras. So we've got 6 white auras, 1-mana auras left in the deck there. I mean, drawing an aura is good. Alright, so now our opponent knows Field of Ruin is going to get us. So our land base is going to start getting messed up here. Unfortunately. Alright, so we'll attack. I guess our opponent just trades 1 token with it. We get 4 damage. We cast our second scout. They've still got Fact or Fiction in hand as far as we know. Did get a bit distracted, but I'm pretty sure that's right. So we've got our opponent down to 8. Wait, Cryptic Command? I thought they targeted Fact or Fiction with the Mystic Sanctuary. Alright, I'm just going to concede this one. I thought they had Fact or Fiction in hand, not Cryptic Command. I don't know what I lost track of there, but yeah, that didn't go great. Alright, so Rest in Peace is going to be nice against these sorts of decks with the Uro and the rubbish. And Gadok Teague is also really nice. Typically speaking, Core Spirit Dance is pretty strong in control matchups. So I might actually leave most of my Core Spirit Dances in. Now, I'm going to do something a little unorthodox here. Now, these control decks seem to be bringing in Growth Spiral against... Sorry, not Growth Spiral. Ether Gust against us, which bounces a green permanent for tempo. So I'm actually going to take out a green cards here. I'm going to take out 3 Rancor. I'm going to want the Spider Umbra for their Wrath effects, unfortunately. But I'm going to take out the Rancor and test that and see how it goes. Just something I was thinking about the other day was like Ether Gust is really annoying. So going down on green cards seems good to me. Look, we need a better hand than this. 1 mana hand with only Sentinel's Eyes is a good aura. Like as a 1 mana aura, like it's just not. It's just not cutting it. Alright, after a host of absolutely appalling hands, we come to this hand. And we've got a bottom 3 cards. Alright, let's go there. Opponents like kept 7 as well. This is so terrible. They like use Force of Negation on my first aura, and I'm just like, it's such a bad spot to Blast Zone to Cryptic Command. Like, I really don't feel good about this. Alright, well, let's assume they don't have it. Assume that they've just got Remand or something. Alright, we resolve Ethereal Armor. That's really good. Stage 1, Step 1. All of that. Attack him. Typically speaking against these decks as well, I don't like bringing in... Alright, that's good. I don't like bringing in Enchantment Destruction because I only normally play 1 to 2 Wilderness Reclamation. So it's like a little bit pointless in my opinion. Alright, so we are going to attack for 4 here, put our opponent to 14. We have got our Totem Armor down, which is good. Our opponent's not interacted with us so far. Did they miss a land drop as well? Well, if they didn't counter my totem armor, I'm going to guess... Oh, wow. They don't have another counter spell. Ethereal armor is just really great to resolve here. It'll give us an 8 power creature. So, multi 4, and we're pretty close to winning this one. Alright. Alright. Our opponent got land screwed. I'll take it. I will take it. Alright, let's submit the same list. I realize it's a little counterintuitive playing around Aethergust and boarding in Gadok Teague, but Gadok Teague is really good against a very large portion of my opponent's deck. So this is awful against Path to Exile, and they've also got Field of Ruin. And yeah, that's just not going to do it. Opponent's kept another 7. Let's get a Hexproof creature. This isn't going to cut it. Alright. Let's hope Core Spirit Dancer resolves and can be our draw engine. So we're going to bottom Plains, Windswept Heath, and hope that we draw auras. I don't think going down to 4 that we're going to get realistically a 4 that's that much better. This game really tests you sometimes when this rubbish resolves. All this crap's happening, doesn't it? Oh, so frustrating. Keep a 3-lander on a multi 5 and draw the 4th land. Draw the 5th land. Alright, let's attack. See if they Snapcaster Mage. These decks don't normally play Snapcaster Mage, but I'll just offer it to my opponent anyway. Mathematically, we're better off not searching because we have 2 lands on the bottom of our library. Hope our opponent just has Growth Spiral. We really need this Core Spirit Dancer to resolve. It does. They could still path it, which isn't great. Let's see if they shock. Shock would almost confirm path. It could be Growth Spiral. Alright, there's the path. Opponent's just ramping us. Joke's on them. No, joke's on us. We don't have any auras. Yeah, I don't know how we're getting out of this one. Maybe multi 4 was the correct decision, but yeah, like, just miserable. Absolutely miserable. Alright, counter it if you dare, opponent. Ha ha ha. Alright, get in for those 2 points of damage. Alright, there's the Wilderness Reclamation. We all knew it was happening. I mean, we might as well get Dried Arbor, right? I guess it's bad if they just Supreme Verdict or something, but we're probably losing this game anyway. Alright, that's something. Let's go ahead and cycle this Horizon Canopy. Alright, so is there a world where we can resolve this? I suppose so. I'm going to attack for 2 first. Assume that my opponent's got Cryptic Command here, so I'm just going to try and get some sort of damage in. It's interesting. This deck looks like it's not playing Uro, but I'm sure that it is. We haven't seen Uro in any of the 3 matches. Admittedly, Game 2, we didn't see our opponent do anything. So let's get in for some damage here. Now, unfortunately, I think Rest in Peace is the more important aura here, so I'm going to bait the Cryptic Command with Ethereal Armor. Oh, if he Force of Negations here, it's perfect, because that means he's less likely to have a second Force in hand. Alright, excellent. Rest in Peace resolves. Now we just need a top deck well. Alright. So, Uro is really garbage here. Mystic Sanctuary is also really garbage here. And the best card is this Castle. Do I just give him Castle on its own? He could Cryptic bounce the Rest in Peace, which would mean Uro would be online again. And he can do that end step. So in the event of that, we want to split the Mystic Sanctuary from the Uros. Alright, let's do this. See what he takes. So he took the lands. Interesting. He didn't float white mana, so he can't create a token this turn. Alright, let's attack for 3 here. I guess we attempt to resolve post-combat. Fact or fiction in response. Oh, god damn it. They find the Force of Negation. And they've got the Supreme Verdict there. Oh, boy. So obviously we have to separate Force of Negation from any other blue cards. The lands are colorless, so we can put a land with the Force of Negation. They already have a Mystic Sanctuary, so giving them a second one is probably similar to not giving them anything. And doing the split like this is making the assumption they don't have any blue cards in hand to cast Force of Negation with, so it's a little bit risky. I feel like if my opponent had Cryptic Command, he would have countered that and bounced the Rest in Peace, so let's do this split. Alright, they've taken the Supreme Verdict. Does Spider Umbra resolve? It does resolve. Okay, good. Well, a lot of things have gone right for us this game, and we are still in it. But yeah, like, we're very fortunate to have resolved the Rest in Peace, and for them to have not Force of Negated or had a counterspell, like a hard counterspell for this Spider Umbra. Like, a lot of things have gone right here. And we have our opponent on a 3-turn clock currently. I guess Supreme Verdict will remove 2 power from the board, so realistically, our opponents can stall us out for a lot longer. And if they hit another white mana source, they can get this castle going as well. So they played the Mystic Sanctuary for turn. Doesn't have any targets. So no white mana this turn unless they Growth Spiral into it. Alright, here comes the Growth Spiral. Another Mystic Sanctuary into play. Okay. Is this Supreme Verdict? Okay, sure. Let's thin our deck. Obviously, we really need to see an Ethereal Armor here. Nexus of Fate. Alright. What a stupid card. Absolutely ridiculous card. Have they got a second Supreme Verdict here? We'd pretty much be doomed if they did. Breeding pool untapped. They're floating white mana now, so now they're going to get a soldier token. And once they get 2 soldier tokens, they can trade with the Bogle. Well, yeah, I'll attack. Alright, please no more Fact or Fictions, opponent. That card is so stupid. Castle Vantress. Alright, we want to see a double bottom here on his scries. He's got 2 Fact or Fictions in the grave here. He topped 1 card, so... Uh-oh. Sure, it's white mana. I don't know, maybe it's not. It's really awkward, because we're going to get completely tempoed here. Finding like a Grisbone would... Oh, fuck off. Alright, so it's a pretty safe assumption he found Blast Zone there. Now he can start attacking us for 1. We do have another scout in hand, which is good. Why does this deck need both Blast Zone and Supreme Verdict? It seems a bit rude. I guess it doesn't hit their human tokens, so that's kind of nice tech for them. Goodness gracious, we have drawn some absolute garbage this game. We kept a 0 aura hand and we've drawn 3 auras in 7 draw steps. Alright. Welcome, Aethergust. I've missed you. Bet my opponent's been waiting for a while to fire that one off. Oh, Castle Vantress scries every turn. Double top. Oh, God. Boy, oh, boy. Soldier beat down. Well, they didn't put a land into play, so you can bet that... oh, wait, I just shuffled away my own creature. That's pretty stupid. Maybe we need, like, the likes of a Gadok Teague at this stage. I think we're just on the slow loss train here at the moment. Cool. So that card does literally nothing. Our opponent hits us for 3, then 4, then whatever. We're thoroughly licked here. So they double topped last time, so we can assume 1 card's going to remain on the top, and it has. Yeah, if I left my scout on top, I might have had a chance, but this game's gone on for so long, and there's been a lot happening, and I just lost track of that one thing. Alright, let's go to our second main here, see if my opponent like 6s through the turn or something, or yields Zen Step, and then we'll try for our Gadok Teague. If it resolves and our opponent doesn't have Path, I'm pretty happy. Alright, there's the old Cryptic command. Throw down Redundant Rest in Peace. So our opponent's going to attack us for 5 here, so 4 here. And then he can attack us for 5 next turn. We need to have a creature with 2 toughness. Into a string of good auras. Pretty much Core Spirit Dance is the only out at this stage. Alright, well, we lost. That was pretty miserable, like, hand-wise. For both games 2 and 3, it was pretty miserable. We were really lucky to get there game 2. But game 3, like, we just didn't get given any good hand choices. Like, let's be real here. And yeah, we could have mulliganed another hand, but yeah. I guess I kept like a no aura hand, and that was kind of dumb, and maybe instead I assume my opponent has path, and I just look for auras in those slots, but yeah, I don't think it would have mattered, really. In like 99% of the games, I don't think it would have mattered. And in fact, like, in some games, my line would have been better. Alright, match 3 here. Let's hope the matchup plays out a bit nicer than that one did. Alright, so wish the odd GL to our opponent. We are versing Dorsal. We are on the play, and we are keeping this hand. Really nice curve on this hand. Ethereal Armor getting buffed from the ley line as well. So, assuming we're uninterrupted, we'll have a turn 2 attack for 6. Which I'm a big fan of. If we draw another Ethereal Armor, it would be a turn 2 attack for 7. Oof. Here comes the control deck. I tell you. Temple Garden. Okay, Bant control deck again. Ether Vial. Alright, we're versing Spirits. It took a little while for me to figure out what was going on, but it's a Spirits deck. We know that now. Alright, alright. This is looking pretty good. We'll play out our Rancor here. It's 1 less damage. Well, I guess it's better to play the Ethereal Armor. Our opponent's not going to have a counterspell, assuming it is Spirits. And I have a pretty decent read that it's Spirits. Of course, second Armor and Grist Spoon is probably just going to be lethal anyway. Into Plains. Alright, so Plains, Grist Spoon. Yep, so this next Ethereal Armor is going to add 5 power to the board. No, 6 power to the board. So it'll attack for 14 and a nice turn 3 kill. Alright, so we can assume this is Spirits. We're going to remove these ley lines. We're going to bring in all our Path to Exiles. And really nothing else is any good against them. We could bring in Force of Vigor or Seal of Primordium for these Ether Vials, but really trading 2 for 1 or spending 2 mana to destroy a Vial isn't where we want to be. Maybe Force of Vigor is okay, but then what do we cut? Like a Core Spirit Dancer, maybe? Alright, we'll bring in 1 Force of Vigor. Alright, too late. Yeah, the hand's got a lot of really good stuff going for it. I'm going to keep this. Opponent's mulligan to 6. So here we have 2 shots to hit our second mana source, and the worst case scenario for us is if they have the Noble Hierarch start and into Spell Queller and we miss our land drop. So no Noble Hierarch, which makes me quite pleased. So Glade Cover Scout out there. Let's watch this turn 2 Supreme Phantom. And then I'll feel very smart. Alright. Hideaway. When this creature enters the battlefield, when it leaves the battlefield, put it into its owner's hand. Okay. We're up against Brew here. Alright, knowing that, I'm going to prioritize getting this Spider Umbra down. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm so thankful we drew land then. So we get in for 4 points of damage. Pretty solid. We're up against a bit of a different Bant control deck. Maybe more of a tempo deck here. It'd be really nice to draw mana here, because then if my opponent holds up Spell Queller, we can do Core Spirit Dancer plus Cartouche. And at least get something out of it. Teferi, okay. And he's plus the Teferi. Quite confused. I'm going to cast Core Spirit Dancer because my opponent's tapped out. I'm going to then cast Cartouche. And let's just pressure our opponent here. See what happens with this Watcher of Tomorrow. Chump block. Put it into their hand. It doesn't need to be revealed. Alright. So they've blocked 6 damage there. Next turn we can do even more. So we've got 10 damage on the Scout. Plus if we draw another Aura. And the Warrior token makes it 11. They've fetched themselves down here. So this is Supreme Verdict. I'd be very happy to see them cast Supreme Verdict. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent skips their next combat phase. Sure. And then they can bounce that with their Teferi and repeat the effect. Look, I'm still going to add auras to the board. If they're not casting another one of these things, I don't know what they're doing. And they bounce Daybreak Coronet. Okay. Meddling Mage naming Daybreak Coronet? I mean, sure. And Eternal Witness, Returning Watcher? Okay. Reasons to put Hyena Umbra on Scout here is if he bounces Spider Umbra with Teferi into Supreme Verdict. Reasons to put it on Core Spirit Dancer, we can attack and his Dignity can't just bounce it. I think I like the Core Spirit Dancer line. I think. Of course, we blank an Aura. Seems a little bit typical. But you know, Core Spirit Dancer's a giant first striking creature here. I'm going to sack this fetch land, cycle the Horizon Canopy, look for another Aura. Hopefully we find Griffspoon and just end it. Alright, no Griffspoon. We won't attack with the Warrior token, but we'll just attack our opponent with Scout and Core Spirit Dancer, force the issue. Play another Bogle second main. I don't think this Teferi fogging a single combat phase is going to really do anything for our opponent. They'd spend 4 mana to do it. So they'd literally take an entire turn to fog it and lose Teferi if they were to do that line next turn. So I think I'm just happy pressuring my opponent's life total here. Alright, so they can Watcher and bounce Watcher to get the card into their hand. It's not the most effective thing. Wondering if they have Ruined Halo. So they're sacking that for the face down card. Putting in Prairie Stream. They have access to 4 mana here. If they Supreme Verdict, we're fine. And they just lose out. Uro. Okay. So it's a different take on an Uro deck. Right. And opponents conceded. Alright. Well, we're going to draw Core Spirit Dancer. We're going to cast Daybreak. We're going to draw Ethereal Armor. Alright, we're just making a massive board and attacking white anyway. That was a weird game and a weird deck. And yeah, I don't quite know what just happened. Or what they're trying to achieve with their card choices. If anyone knows what the deck's supposed to be doing, let me know, or like link me a deck list or something. But like, that was odd. Alright, so match 4. And we lost another die roll. Not having luck with them this league. We're up against House of Mana MTG, so my guess is they are some description of YouTuber. In the blind, on the draw, I think I keep this hand. Leyline's pretty good. Totem Armor's pretty good. A second creature's pretty good. Like, if this is a Jund deck and they're looking to Assassin's Trophy my Leyline of Sanctity, I can turn to Scout and a second Scout and an Umbra and all of that. If this is Humans Giant, alright, so it's Amulet Titan. Right. Okay, that's a good draw. So we can turn to attack for 5 because Leyline also buffs our creature. And Leyline's not completely dead here. It does just stop our opponent from shooting us in the face with Valakut triggers, and they don't have a way to interact with it main deck, I don't think. Unless they've got like a Blast Zone that they tick up to 4, which should be a task and a half. So likely they'd just go field of dead tokens and go wide and look to attack and win that way. So Castle Garenbrig, Cavern of Souls, 2 mana. Have they got an Explore here? They don't. Alright, that's good for me. And drawing the Grispoon is really good as well. I'm going to leave that card secret for now, so my opponent doesn't change their lines. Attack for 5. Good clock. Opponent's on 15 now. Simic Growth Chamber. They've got access to 4 mana here. Okay. Dryad of Elysian Grove. Play Growth Chamber again. Bounce Cavern of Souls. Have access to 3 mana. I think Dryad of Elysian Grove is so good. The decks just have dropped Azusa altogether. Like, that's how powerful this card is. It gives you 1 less, like, land play, like, playing. It lets you play one less land than Azusa per turn, but like, just its static effect is just that ridiculously powerful. I'm very happy that it's got enchantment typing though, because it gives Force of Vigor extra targets in this Amulet of Vigor matchup. Alright, so my opponent's deciding to play the Simic Growth Chamber here. I'm guessing they're going to bounce that again. Okay. Abzan Grazer. Okay. So they're ramping their mana here. They are now up to 4 mana for the turn. If they've got another Arboreal Grazer, they can get a Primetime out this turn. That would need them to have exactly... Alright, I reckon they've got another Arboreal Grazer. Azusa Lost but Seeking. Okay. I just make a big deal about them dropping Azusa, but here she is. So now they can play Simic Growth Chamber twice here and get a Primeval Titan. Double Summoner's Pact. Okay. So my opponent's going to have access to 8 mana here to not die to upkeep triggers now. I don't think that the deck can do that. They've already used all their Azuzas. They only have a Cavern of Souls in hand. I'm pretty sure they killed themselves. Maybe they forgot that they cast the first Summoner's Pact. Oh, wait. Wow. Okay, never mind. I am incorrect. They can give their creature haste, attack, get another 2 lands. If they've got 2 bounce lands here, they have access to 7 mana. That's 1 short. And they currently have 5 mana on the board, so I think they're just a mana short. I don't know. So you shouldn't have played Dryad, apparently. Yeah. Alright, so onto sideboarding. I do take out the ley lines. That is what I like to do. I do bring in the Path to Exiles. I think C would have been fun, yeah, possibly. Alright, now Force of Vigor hits both their Aether Vial and their Dryad of Elysian Groves, so I do like bringing that in. Yeah. So cards to take out. Probably one core spirit dancer and probably just the cartouche. The cartouche could make a nice chump blocker, but realistically it's probably not going to do anything. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to keep this hand. It's pretty land heavy, but Vigilance is good. Ethereal Armor is good. Hopefully the top of our library helps us out. We will need to lead on Temple Garden into fetch for planes off of Windswept Teeth here. Alright, so turn 1, Amulet of Vigor for my opponent. Yep. So we draw the second Bogle. That's pretty trash unless our opponent engineered explosives, or we draw Force of Vigor next turn to blow up the Amulet of Vigor. So if either of those things happen, we're in a pretty good spot. If not, that was, you know, another dead card in a little bit of a questionable hand as far as keeping is concerned. Yeah, that's fair. Alright, so opponent with the Simic Growth Chamber has access to 3 mana here. Explore, plays an extra land. I guess it's another bounce land. Explosives on 1. Well, that's perfectly fine. We're actually very fortunate now that we have the Slippery Bogle as our draw, because we can Sentinel's Eyes and not load up too hard on the board. So this probably appears like we're going to go for a Dryad Arbor line here off of what we did. Maybe we hold the fetch land instead and play like a forest or something to give misinformation to my opponent. It's probably better. Boreal Grazer comes down. Land activation, yep. So Simic Growth Chamber untapped. Six mana, prime time. Alright, this is pretty scary. It's going to be hard to come back from. Valor Cult plus Haste Land. So my guess is my opponent has either Summoner's Pact or Dryad of Elysian Grove in hand. I guess even them just getting Field of Dead tokens here are good though, and they do need red mana to tap for this haste card. So that makes sense. Double Forest. Alright, this is definitely a Dryad of Elysian Grove hand here. Definitely not blocking. So now they've got mana up to crack this Engineered Explosives as well. Alright, so that seems decent. I guess I'm just going to attack for 2, see if my opponent pops this thing early. My guess is he's going to play it pretty tight though, and we're not going to be fortunate enough to have that. It's going to be an end step crack. Alright. Okay. It's rather frustrating. Talaria West. Do they have the second engineered explosives? They might. Guess we should have cycled this Canopy earlier in case we drew Path to Exile as well. Alright, so I'm gonna Hyena Umbra to bait the explosives. Oh, I'm just on 5 life. I'm just dead here. Alright. But yeah, obviously another creature in hand. Sentinel's Eyes from over there. I think I did it wrong. I should have baited the explosives a turn earlier. If I drew like a Daybreak Coronet, it would have been relevant, but I didn't draw Daybreak Coronet, so that wasn't quite the case. Okay. So anything else I want now for game 3? Maybe I can minus a Sentinel's Eyes for another Core Spirit Dancer. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. Sentinel's Eyes is bad in multiples. We did see it in a multiple there in game 2. Yeah, we're going to snap keep this. I'm going to leave this Spider Umbra in hand for as long as possible. Because it is Force of Vigor fodder. And obviously we've got the Totem Armor on Hyena Umbra anyway, so we can get that out earlier. Decent hand. Not a god hand, but very decent. Alright, turn 1 Valakut from my opponent. No Amulet this game. So Hyena Umbra first. Into Ethereal Armor. Attack for 4. Next turn we can attack for 8. And then kill them the turn after that. Alright, Radiant Fountain messing up our plans a little bit here. Alright, well, I feel like if my opponent casts explosives on 1 next turn and then cracks it, I don't want to lose to that. So I think I'm going to just go Sentinel's Eyes and attack for 2 here. Sorry, attack for 6 here. If he doesn't cast Engineered Explosives this turn, the coast should be clear. Reclamation Sage. Okay. So getting my Totem Armor, I suppose. It's either Totem Armor or Ethereal Armor. Either, well, I guess it's either Hyena Umbra or Ethereal Armor. Alright, it's Ethereal Armor. Gotcha. So that indicates to me they don't have explosives in hand if they're not attacking the Totem Armor effect. So, empty hand, hold up path is decent. And attack my opponent. And any 2 power aura off the top and we win next turn. Yikes. It's a real awkward land base for my opponent. Not much in the lines of green mana for them. Alright, there's the Growth Chamber. I guess they bounce Cavern. They bounced the untapped Cavern and they didn't bounce the Radiant Fountain. All of this is a little bit confusing to me. Rancor? Rancor? Give me a Rancor? Come on, deck. You know you want to. Yeah. Alright, so EE off the top would be very good for my opponent, but we did just draw the Core Spirit Dancer, which we can go in on. And also, our Core Spirit Dancer has protection via Path to Exile, so if my opponent plays Dryad of Elysian Grove... Yeah, the hand he had was super sus. Yeah, it was a little bit. So now if he goes Dryad of Elysian Grove into like land, try to kill Core Spirit Dancer, we can path the Dryad of Elysian Grove in response and fizzle the Valakut triggers. Alright. So they could be well be going for that now. Let's just get this Dryad of Elysian Grove out of there. Fizzle the trigger. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. We fly over the top, so any aura, and we're going to be in a really good spot here. Draw an extra aura off the Core Spirit Dancer as well. We do fly over the top, as I just said. Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous here. Oh god. Oh god. Oh man. Alright, so I'm going to leave this other Core Spirit Dancer in hand. If our opponent does nothing, we just fly over and win anyway. If they somehow have a really good turn, they can potentially get Core Spirit Dancer as well, I suppose. So, we're at the mercy of our opponent. I think we've got enough to win it. Yeah. Pretty strong. Opponent's not happy with Total Armor at the moment. I thought I found my out. Yeah, well, Totem Armor's good here, and then we get to go back in on the Core Spirit Dancer with the Sentinel's Eyes and get our stuff back. I mean, yeah. And then, yeah, he's got Titan in hand. Okay. Yikes. Titan's scary. Oh my. Oh man. Oh man. Oh, he's playing Simian Amulet. Okay, cool. Yeah. Right. Actual? Weird. If it wasn't for Totem Armor. So it deals 3 damage to each creature with flying if green was spent to cast, and 3 damage. Oh, so he can spend both colours? Right, okay. So has he got the second one or got the explosives here? Wow, 2. Okay, double. Double. I gotcha. Wait, what went wrong? Huh. Oh, fuck. Rip. Yeah, okay, that was interesting. Double fire spout. So I didn't realize with this card, if they spend both, it does both. Obviously, it says it in little brackets at the end there. Yeah, we draw another land. We flat out. Typical funny stuff. All right. Well, it's always interesting learning something new in Magic, and it's always nice when you learn something new without losing. I think we're a little bit fortunate there, but we did keep a pretty reasonable hand, and I think we played the game as best as we could with the information we had. Obviously, they didn't have explosives, and if we'd have committed more auras to the board earlier, then we would have killed them instead of them being on 2 life. But I mean, the only other way around that is maybe leave the ethereal armor in hand and go in on other auras. But you know, I think I played it the safer way for the majority of games. So we'll be back here for round 5 shortly. Right, let's get into this 5th match here now. Alright, we are up against ZYX Jerry. And we lost the Daron. Opponent is going to be on the play, and they have revealed Lurus of the Dream Den. So I'm going to assume this is a red Prowess deck. I do like the Leyline, I don't like the Dryad Arbor, so we're going to mull this. You get a 3/3 Totem Armor Dryad Arbor by turn 2. Yep, I think we can keep this. We'll bottom a Sentinel's Eyes, and then if we get this Daybreak Coronet going, we'll be in real good shape. Scalding Tarn. Alright, is it Shadow? Sacred Foundry, okay. Into Swift Spear, yep. That is fine. Myth-realized? Wow. Alright, well, I'm not gonna look to, second main Soul Scour Mage. Oh, man. They had to have Soul Scour Mage. That makes, the likelihood of this Dryad Arbor living very low, because it will get sacked to state-based effects. Alright, I'll take it. I will take it. Throw down that Sentinel's Eyes. Right on time, Slippery Boy. Getting us the goods here. Myth-realized is cool tech. It's a creature that gets buffed by all their random spells and by itself. This is funky, I like it. They can become like pretty big and a pretty big problem. So we're just going to take 6 damage here. Opponent could mutagenic growth or something and deal an extra 5 to us. Make it 11. That's still not lethal. Still, we get to just jam Daybreak Coronet and attack for a bunch. So we can attack for 6 here, gain 6 life, and get Totem Armor on board. All of which seems really good to me. Alright, well there's one mutagenic growth. Hopefully they don't have the second. Wow. Wow, okay. So we take 16 damage exactly. It's a big yikes. What was the top card? Spirit Dancer. It was Razorverge Thicket. We still could have got out of that. Alright, so Path to Exile is good. Core Spirit Dancer is bad. Dryad Arbor is bad. And I don't actually mind Force of Vigor here. We can probably bring in 2 of them. Although, what do we take out? It's probably not a lot to take out. I guess we'll just bring in 1 for the Dryad Arbor. I don't normally remove Dryad Arbor, but decided I don't want it here for some reason, so just gonna rip it out of my deck. It's also a Lurrus deck, so Rest in Peace is probably better than the... Yeah, okay. Or can I do like 1-on-1 and I guess remove Cartouche? Alright, we'll do that. Alright, so we'll be on the play. Show me a good hand, deck. Our opponent didn't actually shoot a single burn spell at our face that game, I don't think. Alright, so... we can take 2 damage from our lands and we have Vigilance. I think we can do better. We want like at least 1 piece of removal, right? Alright, down to 5. So we keep this. We need to bottom 2 cards. So we can bottom... Plains, Hyena, Umbra. And then hope to draw land. I don't think keeping a scout with just an aura is like good enough. I think we need 2 auras and the removal. Get in for 2 points. There's down like 0 mana spells are like really irritating with Prowess. So looks like just the 1 creature for my opponent if they're playing Realized here. Do they miss a land drop? They do. Alright, so we just drew Daybreak Coronet. I'm starting to feel a lot better about this game. So I think we still attack here. Potentially leave up blocks, but like mutagenic growth on its own would just blow us out and we'd lose our totem armor, which wouldn't be good. I'd prefer to have them try and blow us out when we have Daybreak Coronet, so at least we gain the like 7 life. Can our opponent kill us here? Really cool. I love Myth Realized as a card. I'm really happy to see it getting play. I can't believe it doesn't get more play, both in Modern and Legacy. So Lava Dart, obviously, very strong card. If they miss their land drop, then it's gonna... well, they can't flash it back at all at the moment. They don't have a mountain. Let's attack again. We can path our opponent during their turn. We'll get our opponent out of land screw if we do that. I think I'm happy just taking 1 damage. Alright. So if I pathed on in response, they wouldn't have got the land. Yikes. So we might as well path the Soulscale Mage. It's giving an opponent that's, you know, mana screwed mana, but oh well. Alright, we just rip our Daybreak Coronet, Razorvetch Thicket into Daybreak Coronet here. Attack for 7, put our opponent to 2. We're back up to 21. Should be pretty good for us. We've got Trample as well. Means they need to get quite a few Prowess triggers to even just stay alive here. Of course, they could cast some spells and then block with the Myth Realize token. It looks like they've just conceded. Do I want to change anything game 3 here? Look, I think 1 force is enough considering they can only have 4 copies of Myth Realized, and they don't really have... I guess they have Light Up the Stage to help dig to it, but... it doesn't seem that good to me. I think I'm just going to run the same list. We have to remember we don't have Dried Arbor, and keep a Dried Arbor hand, because that'd go bad. Alright, beautiful. We have got a Leyline hand with a Path to Exile, and our auras are a little bit, like, average, considering we've only got 1 of them, but I'm going to go ahead and keep this. We've got a creature, an aura interaction, and a relatively pain-free land base. Alright, turn 1, Myth Realized. Right, so let's just lead on Forest here. Into our creature. Hopefully no Pyroclasm, or else that's going to be very sad. They're just cycling a Crash through. Alright. They got land into Soulscale Mage, or... what are they doing? Are they literally just going all in on a Myth Realize token? Another Crash through. Alright. This seems very bizarre to me. So draw a second Path to Exile. I mean, not too upset by that. I don't know why I'm fetching this land now, but I just did. So we're going to attack for 2. We've got Totem Armor in case they try to Anger of the Gods here. We've got Path for their Myth Realized. We've got, you know, good land base for against Blood Moon as well. Their only creature is Myth Realized. I think they're in a lot of trouble. So go ahead and path this thing. I guess I should have technically gone to blockers. Maybe get an extra instant out of my opponent's hand, like a Lava Dart or something. Explosives on 1 for my opponent. Alright. Let's just attack my opponent for 2. Happy cycling this Horizon Canopy. Yikes. Alright. Let's go to attacks. play out our Razorverge Thicket and pass. I guess maybe Windswept Teeth would be better to hold up Dryad Arbor, which we don't have in our deck, but our opponent doesn't know that, and also hold up getting our second Plains in case of Blood Moon. Lurrus. Sure. Let's just get rid of that Lurrus. Opponent is pretty land flood, but so are we. Soulscour Mage. Damn, they drew it. They drew a creature. See if we can make our opponent, see if we can bait the Engineered Explosives here with a Rancor. Obviously, if they pop it in response, Rancor won't return from the grave to the battlefield. And then we can just cast Ethereal Armor and attack for 3. So that just resolves. So we're just going to play a Razorverge Thicket and pass. Again, I could play around Blood Moon, but I'm not at the moment. It's interesting they didn't cycle their Sunbaked Canyon then. Look at that value. 3 mana, draw 2 cards. It's strictly a mana cheaper than Harmonize is. If we draw like Path to Exile for Soulscour Mage, we can just start attacking again. And you know, we'll be pretty solid from there. If not, I suppose us drawing another hexproof creature would allow us to just suicide this one. Alright, so they chose to do Arid Mesa and crack the Arid Mesa. So they failed to find a mountain. Alright. Alright. This game's going long. This game is going very long. Opponent's still got 4 cards in hand, so I'm sure they have something to do. But yeah, all we need is one of our other 2 paths or our Hexproof creature or Force of Vigor, and we can get something going here. But at the moment, we haven't got a whole lot to do. We're just waiting, biding time, trying to draw because Explosives is very good against us. Hopefully it's just the one and they don't have multiples. Oh, they've drawn a second creature, so now they're going to be able to start attacking. Or are they just full defensive? Wow. It's a little bit surprising to me. Six mana, so we've got as much mana as our opponent, but he's dug himself 8 cards deeper than what we have. Make that 9. Let's pass turn. Maybe we can force our opponent to misplay if we draw a Daybreak Coronet, or if we draw two of them, we can force them to crack the Engineered Explosives. They're not even trying to clock us at the moment, so maybe they'll just mill themselves. That'd be lovely right now. One thing is for certain is explosives is very annoying, and I wish I had a Stony Silence for it, because that would make my life a lot easier. Just like draw Stony Silence, cast it, empty the rest of my hand, because I'll be forced to crack explosives in response. We'd even get Rancor back from the grave. Come on, show me that explosives. You know you want to. Well, it's bad because if we cast it, we lose our Rancor, and it doesn't do anything unless our opponent's on Bedlam Reveler, in which case it's good. So I think our Rancor is worth a Bedlam Reveler, so we'll just go ahead and cast Rest in Peace. Pass the turn. It's going to be a real slow and boring game, this one. Real tough slog. So we won game 1. Yeah, and this is game 2. Alright. And our opponent's got 12 minutes left on the clock in game 2. Sure. $30 cards left in their library. I mean, they can just hardcast a Bedlam Reveler at this point, so I guess Rest in Peace doesn't do much. So maybe that was a bit of a silly line. This indicates they've got another creature, but we can't really block. Hopefully, if they go Bedlam Reveler, we can just give Griffspoon Ethereal Armor and kill them. Be actually really good if they tapped out for a Bedlam Reveler, actually. They got lethal. Tear. Well, that's a little bit scary. How many burn spells are hitting us in the face right now? Oh, there's a lava dart, so that's 1. Flashback lava dart, an extra 3 damage essentially. Lightning bolt, oh man. Be so good if I just had Path to Exile here just for the blowout, but I don't. Oh man, it'd be like the Ultra Mega Blowout if I got the creature that they put the mutagenic growth on as well. Alright, so we lose that one. Game 3. No, wait. Oh, what? Okay, I was wrong. We were 1-1. Damn. What was our next card? Let's... Nothing? Alright, we're just drawing dead. Oh, well, that's a shame to lose that one. I think we were fine until our opponent hit Engineered Explosives, and then obviously that just allowed him to get back into the game by slowly drawing a million cards. I think in the grand scheme of things, normally we probably would have won from the position we put ourselves in, but today that was not the case. So yeah, I'm gonna end the league here, guys. I'm pretty happy with the list as it is at the moment. I'm just gonna keep jamming games with it until I feel like changing something. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like or a comment down below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for daily Bogles content and ring that bell for notifications every time a new video goes live. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.